Thank you for joining me for another video. I'm Katie Groven, the owner and creator of dancerfitness.com, where we optimize dancers' skills with strength training. Yes, strength training, because strength training fills in the gaps that technique just can't reach. And today we are talking about jazz turns. We are talking about what is the secret sauce to you executing your skills with perfection. And if you're working on singles, it's going to be gorgeous. If you're working on doubles, triples, quads, if you can turn 400 times, I want your technique to be chef kiss on point. Make sure you watch until the end because I have one move that has literally changed the turning life of so many of my clients. Let's dive in. Yeah, but Katie, why are we doing turns when I do turn technique with my dancers? I hear you, but this kind of stuff? That's how I used to warm up my turns. But for your dancers today, for them to really excel at their skills, they have to understand which muscles are responsible for holding a passé, which muscles are responsible for holding a releve, which muscles are responsible for holding their arms. They need to have some mind-body connections so they can understand which muscles are responsible for these skills. So the more they can activate those muscles, the cleaner their skills are going to be. That stuff is outdated. Take the exercises that we're using today. I want you to pull up this video in class or jot down the notes of these exercises we cover, and I want you to bring these into your class and do these strength training exercises before your next technique class. To master your turn technique, you have to master the activation of some muscles that maybe you knew existed, but you didn't know how to really fire up. One of those is your adductors. We're going to talk about firing off your adductors because these are the muscles that we use to pull our legs down and our toe touches, but also this is the muscle you need if you're doing a jazz pirouette and you need that knee to be parallel and you need those toes to pop right up to those knees. Those are the muscles that are going to do that job for you. So here's how you do an adductor lift. Your adductors are right here, your inner thighs. Cross one leg over, flex this foot and pulse, 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 pulse. 20 of these is a great place to start firing those adductors. So within that same realm of talking about your passé, if we want that passé to hit sharply and stay, right? We don't like watching our dancers turn and watching their toe disconnect and their knee starts flopping around. We have to strengthen the hip flexors. One of my favorite ways to do that is to take a band. I like to buy my bands on Amazon in bulk, and then I cut them into loop size and tie them into little knots. You can do that. I'll put a link below. And you can check out where I get most of my bands. Unfortunately, they don't come in this cute pink color, so these I had to get somewhere else. I'll link those as well. It was probably Amazon. Have your dancers lay on your back. Lift one leg. Pull the knee in towards the shoulder, and out. And out. 10 to 12 of these, and you will be feeling it in this hip flexor. So if we're gonna strengthen that hip, we really have to isolate it. And we don't isolate it very often because we're too busy doing our choreography. 10 to 12 here. So when we're still talking, right, we're still in the second half of your body here. Let's talk about getting that knee to passé, leaving it in passé, leaving it at that 90-degree angle. We also have to talk about our core if we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna show you one of my favorite core exercises. It's not crunching. Please, I can't even talk about crunching. It drives me nuts. But this is one of my favorite core exercises, and it's going to work your core, your hips, and your adductors. So it's a 3-for-1 deal. It's a bargain. Who doesn't love a 3-for-1 deal? Here's what it's gonna look like. You're gonna have your hands up, hands next to your body. Open the knees towards your shoulders. Close the knees, drop into an extended boat, drop to your elbows. Knees open, close, down. All of these exercises can be found at dancerfitness.com. So you can head there when you're done watching this and use our filtering tool. Put turns into the filtering search bar and you'll get a ton of exercises that are just for turns. Ooh, I'm already feeling this one. Here I would do about 10 to 15 to warm up your core, your adductors, and your hips. When it comes to turning and strength training for turning, we cannot forget the ankles. So I'm gonna show you an exercise that's going to strengthen your dancers' feet and ankles and also help them when they're turning, if everything kind of goes crazy and things are sort of starting to go poopy, how they're gonna save it and lift. Because as coaches, right, we're always yelling to our dancers, stay lifted, lift, lift, lift. But this exercise will help your dancers actually understand, like, what do you mean when you're yelling at them to lift? So they're gonna start in parallel, parallel passé. First position arms. They're gonna slightly bend that supporting leg, fold themselves in half, change the spot, hold for a beat, and up. Change the spot, find that passé. Slight bend, hold for a beat, and up. We're sort of taking the things we've worked on and really testing those. So these I call a passé extend. I would do 8 to 12 of those on each leg. Don't forget to switch sides. As dancers, we tend to always dance on the right, so that left side's pretty strong. Challenge your dancers to go on the other side as well. Usually when I have dance coaches and teachers complaining about timing, they tend to forget that our dancers' arms are really long. And from fingertip to fingertip, that's your wingspan. So I'm 5'2", so from this fingertip is 5 foot 2 inches of skin, bone, muscles. So if I'm turning and my arms are like this, it's gonna be really hard to save my turn. But if your dancers hold their arms strong, which comes from the back, they can open them sharply with control and great placement. And also, if you have any complicated turn sets, we need those arms to stay locked in with the back. So here's some back exercises you can use to help with your turn consistency. If you have a band available, doing a lat pull down is a great option. Arms come above your head. You'll have your dancers pull against the band, pull the elbows down, and up. When they pull the elbows down, have them pinch their shoulder blades together like someone was gonna take an ice cube and run it down their back. Or have you ever eaten ice cream and it's so cold in your throat and you're like, ooh? That's what I want you to feel. I want you to go, ooh. Pull the elbows down. Yes, 20 of these. You heard me, 20 of these. If you don't have a band, your dancers can just use a lot of resistance. The other option, if you don't have any bands available, is to simply come into a plank and row. Row. Really feeling those back muscles squeezing. Here, again, I would do 20 of these, 10 each arm. All right, congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. I'm going to give you the one exercise that has literally changed the turning lives of all of my clients, all of the teams I work with. We basically take everything we just did and put it into one. Here's what it's gonna look like. If you have a band, that's great. If not, you don't necessarily need it. You're gonna have your dancers place their band around their wrists and hands. If it's just on the wrist, they tend to break the wrists. So wrists and hands, coming into a lunge. So here, we're working one side. We're making it nice and strong, preferably the side that we don't use all the time. Nice lunging position. Your dancers are going to come up into passé. At the same time, they're gonna look over the working leg and they're gonna pull the band apart just slightly to activate the back. And then come back down in this lunge and snap. Nothing should happen at the top. They should not make you seasick when you look out at a room full of your dancers. It shouldn't be like this. Watch that none of them lean backwards. Sometimes that happens. Have them lower the arms a little bit. So here, we're working the strength of the passé. We're working the back for our turn timing and our strong arms. And we're working that supporting leg. What I would have your dancers do is 5 in flat foot. And then when they're ready, when they're feeling brave, 5 to releve. Whew. So there you have it. There are some of my favorite exercises for turn technique. If you want a little bit more of this, I have a free guide for you down in the comments. It's a guide you can download. It comes with a full video and it's a sample training plan so you can bring all of this information into your next class. If you notice that your dancers are dropping their heels a lot and you feel like they need a little bit more ankle strengthening, I would highly recommend this video. This will be the next thing you're gonna watch. Lots of exercises just like this one that you can bring into your next class. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, at dancerfitness.com, we have an exercise for that.